What's up YouTube? My name is John Brahman of Crusoe Design Co. and I just finished this new Skillshare class where I taught many different new tips on how to use Adobe Illustrator more efficiently in your daily workflow. One tip I taught that was a little unusual was converting text into a shape that you could then use in the appearance panel in the background. I'll show you in a second because it's confusing. But I want to expand on that and show an actual example of how it could be useful. And I decided to put it here on YouTube. So it's a little excerpt kind of from my new class. It's expanding on one of the tips that I did teach. And I hope you do check out the Skillshare class. Link in the description below. Let's get into the tip. All right, so as I said, this is something that I taught in my Skillshare class, but I didn't show a good example. And this came to me as a great example that I could use if I'm making a business card for a bunch of different employees and the title changes. And I've got this black bar beneath it, of course. Let's just come in and say we've got a territory manager or maybe a sales rep, whatever it is. And then I'm gonna have to come in here and I'm gonna have to make this rectangle go further. Not the end of the world, of course, it only takes a second, but if we can automate it, why not? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna undo that, it doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna turn this fill to nothing. And I'm opening my appearance panel, it's just window appearance. And I'm gonna click right down here to add a fill. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna hit the duplicate selected item. And I'll turn that second one to white. So what we have here is we have white text, and beneath the white text is an exact copy that's black. So what we wanna do with that black layer now is I'm gonna go to effects here in my appearance panel, convert into shape, it's gonna be a rectangle. I'm gonna set this to 0.01, 0.01. Just kind of get an idea how that looks. I don't mind the up and down. I think the width should be a little more, maybe 3, something like this anyway. You do have the option of a rounded rectangle or ellipse as well. Now there's 2 issues here. One, the up and down, the vertical is not very centered. That has to do with baseline and how types set up. So how we would fix this is go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and Transform. And you gotta make sure you have that black selected, right? And now I'm gonna play around with this vertical and just shift it around just that little bit. It's looking pretty close, right? We could always check it real quick with our box here. So we'll come back in, selecting this transform. Let's go 0.0034. All right, we're nitpicking, but pretty good. Okay, so now that up and down is actually pretty darn centered, and I like the right side, but there's a problem. If I delete this rectangle behind it, you can see we want the design to continue off this edge. There's a couple ways you could do this. You could, of course, add a bunch of spaces. That's ugly, and then shift it back here. It would work, but not ideal. So what I would do is use something called tabs. This is another feature that I like to use when I'm editing my type. And I did have to make this line separate from the rest. That's how I would have this effect only on this text. Now, in order to use tabs, we're going to select that text. We're going to go to Window. We're going to scroll down to Type, and we're going to go to Tabs. So all you have to do here is go click right before the first letter, hit the Tab button, and it's basically added a big space here. So now I'm just going to use my selection tool. I'm going to drag this. Maybe we'll go a little past my bleed over here. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. And then all we have to do in here is we're going to click Left Justified, and then we're going to select this, and we're going to bring it on over. And we could use a ruler, drag that over, kind of make sure it's right on. And you can actually edit the type mathematically instead of clicking and dragging. So something like that. And now what's great about this, and I'm gonna get rid of this guide here. And what's great about this is, as I was saying, now you can change this to anything. Sales, representative. And so just like that, we've got it all set up with our rectangle that now actually automatically transforms depending on any type that we type in there. And if we wanted to come in here and just say, let's make this all this kind of charcoal color that I have for the icons. To click this, you just want to go into your appearance panel, make sure you select the fill, not the white fill. And then we can use our eyedrop tool. I'm holding Shift, it's just like this. And now you know that that bar is that nice charcoal gray and everything matches nicely. All right, so that is building off of something that I talked about in my newest Skillshare class. If you want to learn more and lots of other great tips, head over to skillshare.com/r/Crusoe Design Co. Spelled like that. And I will put the link in the description below, and check out my brand new Adobe Illustrator Super Speed course. It's got tons of tips like this. It just came out. I hope you check it out. Thanks for watching. Please do hit subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.